Hello, everyone, and welcome to something a bit different. We are going to be interviewing Midnight Wolf. We have just finished our battle that you guys will see later on next week. But we're going to be doing an interview with Midnight Wolf for the TBL just for fun. There's just a couple of questions that I would love to ask him, get his opinion on. So I hope you guys enjoy this little interlude video, something different on the channel, something fun. And I will see you guys with the battle against him next Saturday and Sunday, Team Builder and Battle. So take care, everyone, and I will see you.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, perfect.
GG, man.
But anyway, yeah, great game. Thank you for being a part of the TBL, by the way.
No worries. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, so tell me your first experiences with League format. How's it going for you?
It's actually been a lot of fun. Very different to normally. Normally, you just use a modern very specifically. Getting used to like the speed creeping and like having specific attack EVs and whatnot. It's very difficult. Not difficult. It's just very different, I suppose.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then, yeah, running all the calcs and everything is very kind of crazy.
It is. So the thing about it is, I love League format because of all that. Because it's like when you're playing in just like Smogon OU or even VGC, right? You don't do quite as much of a specialized team. You don't have to team build every single time you battle.
That's true.
But if you ran the same team every week, you'd get bodied. Like, it's one of my favorite parts of League format is that every week you have to do something totally different, and you can't be predictable. And I'm going to play you again next time, right? And now I have information about all the sets you chose to run this week. And so next time I'll have access to that too. And so like then I get to think more about it and more deeply about who you are. It's almost like a best of 3 in VGC in that sense.
Yeah, it sounds I think definitely the just generally the prep I really do enjoy. I've sat there for like hours just doing count, which is a lot of fun. I actually really enjoy doing that kind of strategy stuff.
Yeah, me too.
And actually knowing what you can do.
Yeah, and I love that like your opponent has more than 6 Pokemon. It's not just specifically like the 6 that they bring.
Yeah.
So you have to prep for a couple things like, I was like, do I want to run Quick Feet Jolteon so in case you decide to Psycho Shift from your Sigilif, I can like get that boost, and then I can have like Quick Feet Specs and then have this like crazy fast Jolteon. So I was like, do I want to run something like that? Do I run a Volt Absorb for your Coco? So it was an interesting like, dynamic of thinking about how I wanted to prep for each week. So what is, so far, from your experience with League format, what do you think is the most important piece of prep? Like, is it speed? Is it the attacks? Is it knowing prepping well which Pokemon you think your opponent's going to bring? What do you think is more important?
I think it's kind of having a team construct in a way. So having a mon that's specially defensive, a mon that's defensive, and making sure that they're kind of there to kind of take the hits, and then having other mons like I make sure that they're all fulfilling a certain role, but they're also all capable of taking on the opponent's team. I think that's definitely like the most important thing that I've found. Like compared to my first week, obviously Hef bodied me more or less.
Hef's a real good battler.
Yeah, and then these last 2 weeks, I've come out with wins. So I think it's definitely helping going back to that kind of original tactic that I've had.
Yeah, and so when you're preparing your team, right, and you have a Pokemon that like can fill that role, but maybe not do it well against like a good portion of your opponent's team, but does it well against like another half. Like, what do you kind of do with that? How do you feel about something like that?
So what I do is I kind of build a team. I build like 7 or 8 mons depending on how they'll come up. Like I work out how the mon will verse against each mon individually first, and then I will look at specific mons that have come up quite frequently in that, and then build sets for them, try and work that round, and then put that back in and be like, okay, what does this do against the specific mon? And then if I have 2 or less, I go back to the drawing board and I'm like, okay, can I bring a different mon, or can I do a different thing to try and deal with this Pokemon?
So now going to your team specifically, who do you think has been the MVP of your season so far? I know it's only been a couple weeks, and this video will be aired before our battle, so don't go into too many specifics about that. But but who's been the MVP so far in these first few weeks?
Oh, that's interesting. I think Como was definitely really, really handy last week, getting that optimized and getting that sweep, the late game sweep. I think Blastoise came in real handy actually last week. I couldn't have dealt with the Milotic without Blastoise, and just having that as a pivot was really nice. Trying to think what else. Porygon 2 also just incredible bulky mon.
Unreasonably bulky.
Yeah, yeah,
It was brutal. I literally stared at team prep or like team preview. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like,
yeah,
there's just so much bulk there. Like, how am I going to break through that? You've got that. You've got a good record behind you. What do you see yourself? How do you see yourself at the end of the season? Like, what would be a good record for the 10-week season for you? What would you be proud of?
Well, I would be proud of anything maybe 5+.
Okay.
5+ wins. I think obviously making this playoffs would be really cool, but I'm not 100% sure. We've got a lot of incredible teams. Looking at just all the teams, there's just so much power, so much destruction, and it's just like, oh, how do I prep for this? So yeah, I think 5 I'd be more than happy with.
Last season, every team that got at least 5 wins made the playoffs. So that's a good benchmark for you to seek out.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be interesting, especially considering with the week 3 changes. Hearing things in the background, obviously, because I'm very new to your group, so I don't really know a lot of these battlers.
I don't. I mean, admittedly, a lot of these battlers are new to the TBL this season.
Yeah.
So half the teams have never been teams before. But yeah, with all the changes week 3, it's been crazy this week to have David come back and take over his originally drafted team. CJ switching over to Noctali's team, and then having Nick step in and fill in that role. So that whole division just changed dramatically. But again, that doesn't really affect our division either. So last season, I prepped for probably a month in advance of the draft and picked out Pokemon that I wanted to use. I got sniped a few times, but I really had a team that I planned and built. And with this season, I was trying out something new where I really didn't prep at all and just picked threats. So when you're planning your draft, and I know you said you put a lot of time into planning out your draft, and I think that's how you are successful in league format. What do you look for? What is like the first kind of couple things you're looking for when you build that draft out or that plan out?
So when I first had a look at it, because I was like, I don't know draft league format. So I had a good look, and I was like, okay, let's have a look at the tiers, see what's in the tiers. I wanted to have a variety of ones that I hadn't used before and a variety of ones I had used before. And then it was just a case of looking at what mons are really good with doing multiple roles. Like could be attackers, special attackers, could be bulky, can be defensive, can be specially defensive, can be a support mon. And then looking through the tiers on there, then looking at type advantages. And then I think it was just coming down to a case of, I really like these mons as a team together. Let's have a look at their synergy, see how they look, type advantages in the roles that they will play when I bring 6 a week. And that's kind of how I did it. And I just substituted out mons. Mostly it was like tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 I had a good look at. But then tier 4 and tier 5 were sort of more filler mons. And then I built multiple teams just in case of getting sniped, which I got sniped on the first turn.
Yeah, you were saying that in the chat that your pick was the first. You were the second overall pick, right? And you managed to get sniped, which is crazy. But I think you built a really good team. It was interesting to prep for it, just because there's a lot of variety. Like you could go bulky, you could go offensive, and a lot of your Pokemon can be used either way. And I think in my opinion, in League format, that's really important, is to have Pokemon that can be run either way, and make your opponent, even when they see which 6 Pokemon you brought, not really know what's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, as I did to Hef at the end of the interview, I have to do the same to you. So, who do you think is going to win the championship this season?
Just give me a second. Let me look at the current rankings. Just because I can't remember who's the rain team.
The NAC Breloons.
Yeah, I would really love that team to win. Just because it's more niche, I guess. And relying on the rain and stuff is very different. So I'd really love to see that team win. Just having a quick look. Beta's team also looks terrifying. So I think, possibly Beta there, I think could potentially win.
So you think it's gonna be Rain team versus the Colorado Colors in the finals?
Potentially, yeah, potentially.
Okay. I like that. That Rain team has actually been voted to make both finals by both you and Hef now, so a lot of pressure being put over there. And final question, and this is the most important question, obviously, and I'm going to say there's a wrong answer, but I will let you decide. You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I would say no.
Why?
Like, it's more of a bun, I suppose.
So is a hamburger a sandwich?
No, I just call that a burger.
So what defines a sandwich?
Honestly, I've never really thought about it in too much depth. I, I would say for me, a sandwich is personally, you've got sliced bread, and
Okay.
that's classified as a sandwich. Whereas with a bun, is different.
Okay, so buns, no bun sandwiches.
Basically, yeah.
And then
I would then call it a roll or something.
okay, so but you can have like a bulky roll as like a sandwich, right? Or is that different too?
I would still call that a roll,
Okay.
probably.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I'm on the side that hot dogs are not sandwiches too, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you on this one. But thanks for this interview. Great game for anyone who is watching this video and has watched it all the way through to the end. Thank you so much for watching the video.
Yes,
I
yeah.
want to do these more. I think they're really fun, these kind of interview things with the coaches. Maybe after I battle them every week, maybe before I battle them every week, whatever. But if you have anything you want to say before we sign off.
Yeah, it was a really, really great battle. Thank you for inviting me to the league. I'm having so much fun already, and I know it's just going to get better. So
Yeah, that's
thank
what
you
it's
for
all
that.
about. This league, if my record is anything to say for it, this league is all about fun. I have more fun
Yeah,
with this
yeah.
league than I do with any other league, which might indicate why I'm doing better in the other league than I'm doing in this league. But yeah, this league should be fun, and I'm glad to hear you're having fun here. But thanks for hanging out, and for anyone who wants to, the team builder for both of us, I believe, will come out next Saturday.
Yes.
And the battle will come out on Sunday, so you can watch both our parts, see how we prepped, see how we planned, and then see how we executed. And in classic New York and Polygon style, it wouldn't be a battle of mine if I didn't miss something at some point. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later on this week with UBLN and TBL content. Take care, everyone.